So this is about to be another one of those really meta videos. To give some background, my content creation schedule goes like this. So on Monday, I'll try to think about what video I want to write or do. On Tuesday, I'll actually commit time to hashing out the message that I want to send, what kind of outline, just kind of get a good idea of what I want to talk about. On Wednesday is the actual day that we do recording. So happy hump day, I guess, or whenever you watch this, I don't know. On Thursday, I do editing. And then on Friday is when I would look to actually release the video. Over the weekend, I try my best to just not even think about content creation and just try to recharge and go from there. If I get ideas for different things over the week, then I'll just jot them down and kind of think about them over the course of the week. But that's my basic schedule. So yesterday, Tuesday, I sit down and I go to write, the outline for this very video. And I just didn't feel like doing it. I just got done work. I just wanted to chill out. I just did not have it in me to really work on an outline. So what did I do? I started watching YouTube. So I go downstairs and I'm watching YouTube. And after a little while, I'm like, I really should try to commit to this schedule. I should really write something. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to write just 2 lines just to say to myself that I did it and hooray, right? So I begrudgingly go back upstairs and I sit down and I go to open up a new Word document for this outline. And I named it, I'm not always going to feel like doing it. And I didn't feel like doing what I was doing, which is making a video about not always feel like doing it. And it kind of blew my mind in a really funny way because how on point, how poignant is this idea then in that present moment? And I just thought it was a really cool thing to talk about because no matter how much we enjoy something, we probably are not always going to feel like doing it. But anyway, to go back to this story. So I start writing my 2 lines. I have my epiphany of like, holy crap. I'm actually writing. I don't feel like writing a video about not feeling like doing something. And I get the 2 lines and then I keep going. Line 3 comes out, 4, 5. And the next thing I know, I have pretty much a page outline that I can then boil down even further to a few key talking points. And there was just something about that really resonated with me and kind of confirmed the idea that I have. It's not necessarily that I don't feel like doing something. It's that I don't feel like starting to do something. So here's why this is such a big deal for me. Growing up, I kind of struggled with procrastination a lot of times. I would kind of wait until the last minute to turn in, the English paper and stuff like that. I was never really one to just kind of chip away at something over time. I just kind of would knock it out in one weekend. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that's ever done that. But I realized that if I just commit to starting something, that the rest will kind of fall into place like dominoes. Again, using this example, I just said I would write 2 lines. And that gave me inspiration to keep going. And once I got into it, once I started writing the outline, I started to enjoy it more. I started to really get into it. In fact, after I got done writing the outline, I went and started testing out this microphone. Like I got a new microphone. I'm really trying to, up the quality and try different things as a content creator. So before I even realize it, I'm getting the tripod out. I'm setting the camera up. I'm connecting the microphone, doing tests and stuff. And like 2 hours passed in the blink of an eye. And I just sat back and was like, I went from not feeling like doing anything at all to having 2 hours go by in an absolute blur. There's got to be some kind of takeaway from that. And what the story says to me is that maybe I've headed backwards this entire time. Maybe it's not I should wait for motivation to take action. Maybe I should just get started and the action itself will lead to motivation. I think that's big. I started to think about how I could employ this. If I'm going to work out, if I don't feel like doing it, I don't feel like doing the entirety of the workout, just focus on committing to a single push-up. I probably will end up doing more after that. It's just getting over that initial hump. That's the barrier. And the more I work on stuff like this, the more I try to find things where it's like, I'll just start a little piece of it before I move forward. I think not only will that help me actually accomplish more things, but it actually will become a skill, a muscle of sorts that I can develop to where it becomes that much more easy to start on something, to take that first step. And if I can get over that, then what else can I accomplish? I don't know if it is really that simple. This is another thing that I want to try to commit for 30 days and see where it gets me. But I do think I'm on to something. And that's the idea. So to kind of wrap this up, the main point I would want someone to take away from this is that no matter how much you enjoy something, you probably aren't always going to feel like doing it. And that's okay. That's not necessarily an indication that you should stop doing it or that you shouldn't start. Rather than worry about the totality of something, just start with a really small piece of it and let that action then lead to the motivation. Don't wait for the motivation itself to come around because it won't always be there. So what do you think about this idea? Is this a revelation you've already had and I'm just really behind in the times and I should have thought of this a lot sooner? Or is this something that you think could really help you out? I'd be really curious to hear your stories. If you have done something like this before, if it has helped you, this idea has helped you in some type of way, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. If you enjoy this type of content, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button. I'm going to try to make content like this all the time, so subscribing would be amazing as well. And yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time to check out the video, and I hope to see you in other ones. But until then, my name is Albert, and this has been On to Something. Take it easy. I gotta get up. I'm sorry, Robo. I'm sorry.